Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are taking a look at the Blood of Baal supplement that is coming out very, very, very soon. And I'm just going to say it right now. Primaris freaking Death Company. And I'm going to talk about all the theories that I have for this because, oh my god, I am super excited about the future of this. So, before we go into that, just really quickly, I do want to point out that I do have a Teespring account where you guys can get cool shirts and everything, and I will be ordering some in the future for myself. So be sure to check that out. Links will be in the description down below. Now, let's get into this. Let's get into this. I think we're just going to start with the chapter approved stuff that's coming out. Just really quick, we're going to run through this. This and chapter approved. I'm probably going to buy chapter approved because I do like the missions in it. I really do like the missions in it. They add a new twist to the game. Also, some of the missions do get monotonous in the main rulebook, so it's cool to actually have a bunch of different missions. So these guys went down in points. These guys went down in points, but they're still Grey Knights. These guys, I think, went down. Yeah, they went down in points. This went up in points. Pretty much it. GW is just trying to balance the game out, and they're doing a fantastic job with it. I mean, yeah, there is a bit of a curve every time a book gets released, but they're very quick to actually try to fix it. Especially with the Salamanders and the Iron Hands, those two got busted, and then they got fixed really quickly. So, good job, GW. I am actually proud of you. And I honestly think it's amazing that they're so quick to fix the stuff that the community is asking for. How did that Carnifex get on top of that building? There are questions here. How did you get up there? Wait, how did you get up there? You are stuck up there now. You know that, right? You look all menacing. They should have switched these two. What is this? Sorry, that is really bugging me. Okay, all right. Blood of Baal focuses on the titanic clash between the Space Marines of the Blood Angel chapters. Remember, there are more than one chapter there. And the Tyranids of High Fleet Leviathan. I like High Fleet Leviathan, but I'm a Kraken girl myself. I do like getting up in your face and giving you a hug. Extending forearms and scythes. Sometimes bugs getting shot out of guns that devour your brain. But it's the thought that counts, right? And I was thinking about giving you a hug. And I just hugged too tightly with scythes and claws and teeth. Anyway, moving on. The book contains a host of new rules for both forces. And today we're taking a look at what's inside the Sons of Sanguinius. I do like the Sons of Sanguinius. I always like that because it's Sons of the Blood Angel. I mean, quite literally, Sanguinius is Blood Angel. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this art really quickly because I feel like this never goes appreciated. The Tyranids, with their older models, still look incredible by today's standards. The newest model in this picture is the Harpy or Harpy or Hive Crone up here. I can never remember the difference between them, but this guy right here. So it's cool to see the Genestealers. These were dated back all the way to 4th edition. The Gaunts were 4th, 5th edition. I want to say 4th, 5th edition. This guy right here was 6th edition, I think he got included. Gargoyles are from 4th. And the Carnifex's kit never really changed. Look at the old Sanguinor. Look at how old his model looks compared to everything else. The Dreadnought actually does look a little bit good, but I do wish GW would actually just scale up the Dreadnought. The base Dreadnought. I want them to release a new kit for the Dreadnought. Not call it anything fancy, just call it the Dreadnought and just make it slightly bigger. Because, let's face it, the old Dreadnought's like this big. Actually, I think he is actually that big. He's tiny, and it's adorable. The third book in Psychic Awakening series contains the new data sheets, stratagems, relics, special issue war gear, and the new litanies of battle. But before we get into all of that, all of the awesome new rules, let's hear what Chief Librarian Mephisto has to say about his chapter. Well, okay. Hang on. Let's take a listen.
Galaxy burns. The fate of humanity
hangs
so
cool.
by a thread, and we stand isolated and alone against the dark. But the sons of Sanguinius are not so easily defeated. We stood at the gates of terror, and our traitorous kin broke against us. Now we stand together once more, united by the blood of the great angel. I am Mephisto, and I have conquered death. Follow me and bear witness to my fury.
He ain't got no nipples on the cover. Okay, so that was pretty epic. Not gonna lie, that was actually really cool. So one of the cool things that they did add into this, we now know from the Siege of Terra that the Blood Angels were guarding the Imperial Palace, and literally right outside the palace is where they were guarding. So it is really, really, really nice to see that they make a reference to some of the newer lore for the Horus Heresy. So I really like that. It's cool to actually see some of the older models represented in the artwork again, which I really like. There's a Terminator Librarian right there. We have a couple of jump pack dudes. And I really, really like what they're doing with the Blood Angel theme going on. Though I really hope they don't lose their jump pack apothecary. I really, really don't want them to lose that. I do want to see what the Tyranids have to bear, because I have both of these armies. One is sitting in my kitchen, the other one is sitting in my living room. They're both pretty big. Actually, the Blood Angels is on like 2,000 points. But anyway. Who are they? Well, we know who the Blood Angels are. Oh, hey, look, I actually paused it at the same scene. So let's take a look at this artwork really quickly. We got the Gaunts, the Hormagaunts, the Hive Guard right here. Finally, some Hive Guard art, which I really like. We have a jump pack dude with a banner in the background over here, which I really like. We have this really cool angel statue right here. There's actually several gargoyles flying around trying to rip things apart. We have the harpy right here coming down, raining into him. We have the Zoanthrope brood coming in and blasting them with psychic abilities. And it actually looks like the Space Marines are holding out pretty well. We have this one diving into the statue itself. Probably either dying or just trying to destroy and break their morale. I think that's cool. The Sanguinary Guard with the Ancient right there. Or the Sanguinary Guard Ancient right in the right side of the picture. And we have some of the Death Company out and rocking about. All of this is actually ridiculously cool in this artwork. We can actually see several harpies above, or hive crones. I can't remember which. I was really expecting to see a Hirden in some of the artwork, and I don't know. Like, I know the devastation of Baal took place and 11 chapter masters died. So if they are literally all that's left, this is going to be a very hard fight for them. So, it actually reminds me of the Battle for Macragge, where the entire First Company died. Well, the Blood Angels sacrificed more, and somebody pointed this out earlier. Leviathan has attacked both Baal and they've attacked Macragge. What did both have at the time of the attack? They had the Primarchs. They had Guilliman in stasis when the attack on Macragge happened. Then now they have Sanguinius' body on Baal, which is being devastated right now. So perhaps the Tyranids are actually after Primarchs, which could be interesting. And that's just a theory, strictly a theory. But it would be really cool. I'm really, really hoping for a more angelic Dante to come out. I'm honestly expecting it at this point. I think it's really, really, really going to be there. So maybe. The Blood Angels are the glorious golden-haired heroes clad in the finest armor. They're literally all St. Michael, by the way. I mean, if it wasn't obvious by their Primarch literally being St. Michael, they are definitely more angelic, unlike their Dark Angel kin, which represent the fallen angels of heaven and hell. So I think this is really, really, really neat that they're actually bringing in some of the archangels into the Warhammer 40k lore. I am not religious, but I really do like the religious themes of the Christianic mythology, I guess is the appropriate term. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I do like the whole angels, demons constantly fighting thing. And I've looked into it quite a bit, and there's a lot of parallels between that and 40k. So I really, really, really like it. The Red Thirst is the Blood Angel's dark secret. It's not really a secret, by the way. It's kind of like saying the Fallen are a secret. At this point, literally everyone knows. I mean, the Fallen showed up to help Gilliman. Everyone is aware of the Fallen. A hunger for the blood of the living that can overcome them in the heat of battle. The Black Rage is even more destructive. It is a gene memory of the death of their Primarch Sanguinius at the hands of the arch-traitor Horus. So if they get both of these, they literally turn into Crimson Gorillas. I'm not kidding about that. They literally turn into blood red gorillas. And it's honestly pretty awesome. I want them to make that as a model, by the way. Just like fully kitted out, like ripped off the armor. They are mutants at this point. They look like giant gorillas, and they're just ripping apart everything. Like, give them dual power fists. It would be crazy. I love it. Sorry. The Blood Angels who succumb to the Black Rage goes mad with fury. Such battle brothers are inducted into the Death Company, where they will make for one final glorious headlong charge into the enemies. Okay, so let's go through this really quickly. All right. The Death Company is essentially the Repentia of the Blood Angels. The easiest way of saying it. They are essentially going to martyr themselves for the chapter. They are going to charge the toughest looking enemy and try to rip it apart or die trying. Like, they just dive in headlong, and that's it. Also, in these models and everything, we actually get a good side comparison of the Assault Marines, and we get a good comparison to them for the Interceptors, or whatever these guys are called. I can never remember their names, but the Phobos armored dudes. We also see in the background some Inceptors, some Vanguard veterans. We also see the Redemptor Dreadnought. The Stormraven has made quite an appearance in this. It's almost like they have a few of them in studio. We can see in the background a Rhino, a Baal Pred, and a Land Raider. I was kind of hoping for a new Land Raider kit. We also have the Repulsor in the front with the Twin Laz, which is a decent choice when going up against Chaos. We also see the old Chaos Marines. You can tell by the way they're posed. The new Chaos Marines actually stand a little bit more upright and a bit bulkier. The old ones kind of had that squatting stance, like they have to poop. And yeah, they just look a little bit out of place when compared to the Blood Angels. And you can even see that when comparing the Assault Marines to the new Phobos Marines, where the Phobos Marines look more tactical, look a little bit better than their Assault Marine kin. Not saying that the Assault Marines look bad, they just look a little bit better. All right, moving down. Let's actually get into some of the cool things. Oh, they do have the Assault Doctrine. Nice, so they're getting Doctrines. Once the Assault Doctrine is activated, if a unit with this ability makes a charge move or is charged to perform heroic intervention, add 1 to their attack characteristics for models in that unit until the end of that turn. Note that this is... I cannot say that word with my accent, so I do apologize. With the bonus that these models receive from Shock Assault. So you do get 2 attacks when you go into combat. So that means your captain with Blood Rage, or Black Rage, and Red Thirst is getting an average of 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, 10 to 11, 12 attacks at most. If they still include that attack that adds 3. No, probably not that many. If he has a base of 5, he's adding 2 for free. And then depending on the other stratagems, you're going to be adding more attacks to him. And then if he uses a chainsword as well, he's adding 2 additional attacks. So he can get 10 attacks. Okay, so that's ridiculously good. The Blood Angels have an unusual number of Psychers in their ranks. Hint, hint, nod, nod, Blood Ravens. Which is believed to be part of Sanguinius' gene legacy. That was actually proven by Call, by the way. In fact, they are unique in having Librarian Dreadnoughts. I kind of wish other chapters did, I'm not going to lie. These walking war machines contain the... Whoops, sorry. 1 second. My throat is dry. Interred remains of powerful psychers. Amongst the incredible relics of the Blood Angels Fortress Monastery, there is one that can increase the range of your Librarian Dreadnought's powers. Oh, there's a powerful relic that can do that. You can now protect Battle Brothers with Shield of Sanguinius from even further away. Okay, let me tell you about Shield of Sanguinius. My buddy Han makes way too many saves with Shield of Sanguinius, plus all of the 5-up and Feel No Pains. Librarian Dreadnoughts, model only. Add 6 inches to the range of psychic powers this model can manifest from the Sanguinary Discipline. In addition, once per turn, when a psychic test or deny the witch test is taken for this model, you can re-roll one of the dice. That's powerful. Okay. So that means that this Librarian Dreadnought can do basic powers easier, such as Wings of Sanguinius, and he can Shoryuken aircrafts out of the air, or he can Blood Lance a little bit easier. I don't think this applies to Smite, because it's not a sanguinary discipline, if that makes sense. It might apply to Smite, but I'm not entirely sure right there. I'd have to read how Smite is worded. But the Blood Angel psychic powers are actually pretty powerful. So I think it's a really good addition to the Codex itself. A lot of this stuff, they needed Doctrines. Okay. Chaplains of the Blood Angels. Chaplains now get access to litanies, which I really like, by the way. Don't build your army list around them. Litanies are not that reliable, but when they go off, they are really powerful. So I know a lot of people want to do triple litanies and whatever. It doesn't work as well. Trust me, I've run the numbers. It is a reliable yet not that reliable trait. Think of it more as a buff than a thing to build your list around. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. Invocation of Destruction. If this litany is inspiring, which I did not know for the life of me meant if you make a 3+, select one friendly Blood Angel unit within 6 inches of this model. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon, I almost said a melee weapon. A melee weapon? Yeah, now they're using melee weapons. By a model in this unit, on an unmodified wound roll of a 6, that weapon has an armor penetration characteristic of -4 that attack. Is that good? If this litany is inspired, select one friendly Blood Angel unit within 6 inches of this model. So it selects the unit. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in that unit. So it applies to all of them in that unit. So if you hit with Death Company without any upgrades, for instance, you can give them all -4 with their chainswords, which is insanely devastating. Or you could do that on a regular Assault Marine squad, or a bunch of Phobos Marines. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good, not great. It really needs that 6 to wound, which is a lot tougher than a lot of people. Okay, so let's see. They hit on a 3-up, on average, hitting on a 3-up. So that's already half the attacks gone. Then they need to wound on 6s. So if they have 20 attacks, it's 10 attacks. Then out of that, you're maybe getting maybe 2. I think it's 1.7. But maybe 2 6s if they have 2 attacks, but they have 4 attacks. So that doubles that to maybe 4 6s. So, Math Hammer is hard. Why is Math Hammer hard? Anyway, so I think it's okay. I wouldn't bank on this. I would bank on the other litanies that just make you hit better. That is always my go-to. I want to hit my opponent better. Rapidfire. Use this stratagem at the start of your shooting phase. Select one Blood Angel Intercessor Squad or Death Company Intercessor unit. So there it is. Death Company Intercessors. Unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, bolt rifles that models in that unit are equipped with have the type characteristic of Rapidfire 2. So, interestingly enough, if you are rocking Devastator Doctrine, which already gives heavy weapons -1, and you switch doctrines, this might actually be good for your sniper rifles to be switched over to a rapid fire weapon. Because I think it just says, until the end of that phase, bolt rifles models that unit has is... No, because you switch it to stalkers. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. It's okay. 2 command points, it's not worth it. I mean, you're getting 4 shots out of each one of them. There's 10 of them. That's 40 shots. That's really good. But if you want 40 shots, just get a group of Centurions and use a different stratagem. Do they have Centurions? I don't think they have Centurions. But wait, what is this? Death Company Intercessors? Wowie whoa! Anyway, no, I am actually ridiculously excited about this because in Dark Imperium, the Call Inferior flat out states that the gene flaws that the chapters think that they have always meant to be there. They were always there. So the Emperor knew what he was doing when he made the gene flaws and noted that being a traitor is not a gene flaw. So that's why Call wants to use, the Call Inferior wants to use the traitor gene seed to make new Primaris Marines. And Gilliman's like, no. And he's like, but why though? And he's like, no, because no. That's why. Now, what's funny about my chapter of Primaris Marines for the Sons of Gara, they're all in black armor with red shoulder pads. And so I can quite easily run them as an entire army of Blood Angel Death Company. So yeah, it is really cool to actually see that we get some Primaris Intercessors. Although I am Death Company Intercessors. I am a little bit upset that his skin isn't more of a red. I was really hoping for that. I think they might have forgotten some of that lore, which is not a big deal. Some people out there, if you do unhelmeted Death Company, remember that their skin starts to turn more of a blood red. So lore for you peoples. There you go. Look at that. I am so helpful. Could you imagine being the guy that has to walk over to this and equip different weapons to this thing? You better hope that thing is asleep. Otherwise, it's going to murder you. It's going to be like Horus Lupercal. And you're going to be dead. When they succumb, they were arranged into intercessor squads that can and unleashed on their enemies. The Black Rage gives them an extra attack in a turn when they charge. So with Shock Assault and a Salvage Echoes, they have 5 attacks. Oh my god, they get 5 attacks each. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so the base Death Company I think has 2 attacks. So they go up to 5 attacks apiece and if you give them, so Thunderhammers in my opinion are not worth it anymore. They're too expensive at 40 points. So I'd switch to Power Fists or just power weapons in general. One of the things that's cool about Blood Angels is they wound things easier if they do keep that rule. So I would actually go with Power Axes over everything else, like a Power Axe and Chainsword. This way you get 7 attacks in total with your 1 Death Company Marine. Yeah, keep that in mind. 7 attacks with 1 guy who's not even a character. So how you do this, and this is assuming that Blood Angel Death Company have a base of 2. Okay? You get Shock Assault, you get the Death Company, and then you get 1 more, which also means that your captain can get the +1 attack, so I was right from before. So they have 5 attacks, and you use one of those to get a chainsword attack. So you actually get 6 attacks. So my bad, I was wrong about 7, but you get 6 attacks. So you do 4 with your Power Axe, and you wound things on 3s or 2s, depending on the opponent. You're at Strength 5, and you're just going to murder any infantry you run across. Take like 2 Power Fists in the squad just to take out heavier units, and keep a Chaplain next to him to give him even more attacks or make him hit better. So there you go. Blood Angels, masters of close combat, immediately making Black Templar obsolete again. Thunderhammer and go crazy. Black Rage. Add 1 attack characteristic to a model in a unit during the turn in which they charge. When a model in this unit loses a wound, roll and a 6+ feel no pain. Okay. The battle to banish the Tyranids from the Baal system also includes the Blood Angel successor chapters. The Blood of Baal has new rules for one of the most... wow. Flesh terrors. Huh. Why they changed their colors a little bit. I remember when these guys were just red. Huh. I like their new color scheme. It's darker. It's like a really off color. I like that quite a bit. Flesh terrors look nice. Oh, there's a Tyrannocyte. These things look like testicles. Anyway. So, along with new warlord trade stratagems and relics, they get a new chapter-specific rule, which replaces the Blood Angel's Red Thirst rule and makes them even deadlier in combat than their primogenitor. Okay. Fury within, fury without, fury shake it all about. Here we go. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model with this ability, in a turn in which that model's unit was charging or performed a heroic intervention, add 1 to the wound roll. Ooh. In addition, when resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in the unit, an unmodified roll of a 6 improves that weapon's armor penetration characteristic by 1. For that attack, AP -0 becomes AP -1. So the chain swords are really good. So does that mean that the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels don't get that anymore? I have a feeling that a lot of Blood Angel players are going to switch to Flesh Terrors. And yeah, go from there. Look at the Lord of Death himself, Mephisto, and his glorious nipples. Look at this guy. This guy, he ain't got no nipples. He's like falling over. He's like in awe about his nipples. Anyway, you got this dude reaching out just like, sup, G? And he's about to zap some bugs. I do love this art so much. He actually looks like Count Dracula mixed with Saint Michael. And I think it's amazing. Like, he is straight out of the 90s with that popped collar so high that it creates a psychic aura around him. And straight up nipples. Mephisto is only Blood Angel Space Marine to ever overcome the Black Rage. That actually isn't true. Yeah, there's actually a story about him that talks about another Marine that overcame it and went into a room and isolated himself and then was only kept alive through his suit of Terminator armor, keeping him alive for 2 centuries. And Mephisto dove into his mind and found out the secrets of surviving the Black Rage. So, yeah, he's not the only one to overcome it. While many in the chapters hold him as an icon of hope, in fact, there's an entire sororitas unit, an entire sororitas army that is dedicated to him and thinks of him as a living saint. Like, literally, he has fangirls. Just saying. While many chapters hold him up as an icon of hope, there are those who question the price he had to pay to overcome the curse. Yeah, I mean, he straight up made a deal with the devil. Like, it's kind of what happened. He's Mephisto, Lord of Death. Like, not a good guy-ish, sort of. Anyway, having now crossed the Rubicon Primaris, Mephisto is more resilient in battle with extra wounds and an extra attack to boot. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's all that really changed. So, let's see. Strength 5, Strength 10, AP -3, D3 damage for his sword. Kind of amazing. Especially being that this dude is getting 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks. No, 7 attacks on the charge. That's crazy. Especially being that with Blood Angels, you're going to stay in that Assault Doctrine the entire time and just devastate your opponent. Mephisto isn't going to be as broken as he was in 5th and 6th edition, but he is still a pretty good Marine. He is an almost auto-include, but I wouldn't say he's an auto-include. He's very powerful, but the lack of jump pack means that he has to rely on psychic powers to get around, which I think the Dreadnoughts do a little bit better. Like, to be honest, I compare him to the Librarian Dreadnought, and the Librarian Dreadnought seems to be just a little tiny bit better, but he can hide Oh wait, I think the Librarian Dreadnought can also hide because of his wound characteristic. Either way, I think they're both really, really ridiculously good. As Chief Librarian, Mephisto knows Smite and any other 3 psychic powers. I think he can only cast 2 though, or 3. I'm not entirely sure. So, with that, we got to see the Primaris Intercessor Death Company, which I really, really, really like. I love this paint scheme for them. I think they look really, really good, but I do think that they need more of the Death Company aesthetic, like all of the sigils and everything all over them. So if you do make these, get a Death Company kit and put all the little flashy stuff on them. I do want them to be painted red for their skin tone because of the whole Crimson Curse thingy that goes on with them. Yes, I just made a Darkest Dungeon reference. Deal with it. Overall, I'm really excited about this, and I can't wait to actually see... one of my friends actually runs this army, and I can't wait to see her army on the tabletop, rocking all these abilities and just devastating her opponents. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am taking a long look at the Blood Angels. I used to run Blood Angels. I really like Blood Angels. I think they are super cool. And I am debating getting back into them, but I actually want to do the 30k Blood Angels and just use them for 40k as well. So, with that all said, I want you guys to check out all the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on all sorts of social media, including Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, obviously. On Twitch, you can see me game every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I do all sorts of different things on there. Typically, I play games that are requested by fans, and I really, really love the community that I got there. And if you are super awesome, be sure to check out Patreon. Patreon goes a long way to help supporting the channel. It keeps me with my power on, getting food for my belly, and I am a hungry person. I mean, what can I say? I'm the Norn Queen. Anyway, guys, as always, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye. Hey everyone, do you want a cool shirt? Be sure to check out my Teespring. Link is in the description down below.